Again, trying to do my jump scare technique. I hope it worked this time. But I'm back with another YouTube video now. This one is obviously going to be about Star Wars. The last one was a political video. Now today is a video that I personally have been wanting to make for a very long time, and I thought, why wait? And I can just do it now. So today I'm going to be ranking all the canon Star Wars movies. No need to introduce that any much, so let's just get straight into it. So at number 9 is the Clone Wars movie. Now this movie was a prelude to the Clone Wars TV show. It was kind of like an introduction to the 2008 Clone Wars TV show. However, I just felt it was unnecessary. There was no need for it. I didn't really fancy it. There's just no need for it, you know? Sometimes when there's no need for a movie, you just can't enjoy it. And that was the case for the Clone Wars movie. It's just I couldn't enjoy it because I just felt like it was useless. There was no need for it. So that's number 9, that's last place, that's the worst one on the list. And I will say, there's controversial takes, in this video, some very controversial takes, so feel free to comment below your opinions in the comments, and yeah, but like I was saying, yeah, Clone Wars movie at 9, just unnecessary. Number 8 is Attack of the Clones, the second prequel movie, and chronologically the second movie in the Star Wars franchise, and oh my words, the dialogue in Attack of the Clones is some of the worst dialogue ever. It's so bad, it makes Gal Gadot's acting look godsend. And I hate to say that, because Gal Gadot can't act. But like I was saying, yeah, it's just the dialogue is terrible, especially the romance dialogue between Anakin and Padme. It was just so cringy, and you could just tell that like the actors like didn't want to say the lines they were saying. You could just tell because they delivered it like Hayden Christensen. I mean, like, I understand it's George Lucas's writing and George Lucas's direction, but the acting was still very appalling from him and most other characters from the movie, like Obi-Wan Kenobi's like actor Ewan McGregor. His acting was fine, but there were some scenes that like even he felt a bit goofy, and like there's some very goofy scenes in Attack of the Clones that I felt like were just unnecessary. The dialogue was cringy. It's just it's the acting is mid. It's just very, you know, and the worst part is Attack of the Clones had a good plot. The plot was good, and some of the characters like Count Dooku were just really good characters. And the Battle of Geonosis was fire, and the lightsaber duel between Yoda and Count Dooku and Obi-Wan and Anakin was great. It's just the dialogue and the acting, it just destroys any chance of it becoming a good movie. So therefore, it goes at 8. Number 7 is Solo. Now, Solo, in my opinion, gets way too much hate. I thought it was a decent movie. You know, it's a watchable movie, unlike, you know, the Clone Wars movie. But yeah, but Solo, I really like how the actor who played Solo portrayed a young Han Solo. I think he did a really good job. I think the way he was introduced to Chewie, they also did that really well. I like Kyra as a character. I really liked Tobias Beckett. I thought he was an interesting villain, and I liked the Darth Maul cameo. That was really nice to see. However, my one gripe with Solo is that it doesn't show enough to show like how Han Solo becomes like the scoundrel, like loner that he is in A New Hope. I understand that like he has to like run away because like Kyra rejects him, but like that's not really enough. There needed to be more. I feel like there maybe need to be like 1 or 2 more scenes, maybe like an extra 40 minutes to fully explain why like Han Solo goes from like the optimistic, like positive guy that he was at the beginning of the movie to the negative scoundrel that he is in A New Hope. Now, I would have liked to put Solo higher, but the other movies just completely outclass it. Solo did flop, which I think is outrageous. But at the same time, Marvel had Endgames going, so yeah, Endgame was obviously gonna beat Solo in the box office. Now number 6. This is the controversial take that's gonna make a lot of you guys hate me and actively want to kill me and put my head on a pike, like Governor Delany in the French Revolution. But number 6 is Revenge of the Sith.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
You underestimate my power!
Don't try it!
Forgive me, Master.
Now, boy oh boy, I can already feel the hate in the comments and I can already feel the anger from the viewers, okay? I'm sorry, but let me explain myself. Now, Revenge of the Sith is a good movie, don't get me wrong, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. The problem is, okay, so the pacing is trash. The whole entire movie feels so rushed. Like, Anakin, like, turning to the dark side, after Palpatine says, like, do it. Well, he doesn't turn to the dark side immediately after Palpatine says that, but you get the point. It just feels very rushed. There's some clunky dialogue and clunky scenes, particularly between Anakin and Padme. And people glaze it so much. People are like, oh, it's the greatest Star Wars movie ever, it's the best movie ever, like, it's not. So that's part of the reason why I'm putting it at 6. I just feel like it's way too overrated. It's rushed and there's some clunky dialogue. And I feel like there could have been more political scenes. I feel like the whole entire politics of how Palpatine becomes Emperor got like pushed to the side. I mean, I understand why George Lucas would do that. The movie is more so about Anakin becoming Darth Vader more so than it is about Palpatine taking over the galaxy. But Palpatine taking over the galaxy is a big part in the movie. So, and I feel like it was pushed to the side because there's barely any, like, I feel like there could have been more political scenes is what I'm trying to say. Like, explaining how, like, Palpatine was able to, like, do this. Or, like, more political scenes with Palpatine and Padme, but, like, there wasn't. And Revenge of the Sith originally had a 4-hour cut. Now, I'm not saying the whole entire 4-hour cut, but there was some deleted scenes from that cut that should have been kept in the movie, and that's another reason why Revenge of the Sith is a lot lower than others might expect. It's just, there should have been more scenes, felt rushed, and some clunky dialogue. Now, moving on to number 5, which is also a pretty controversial take, is The Phantom Menace.
Oh, not good.
I really enjoy The Phantom Menace. It's the first prequel, chronologically the first Star Wars movie. Me personally, I like Phantom Menace. I liked the characters of young Obi-Wan, Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, especially Qui-Gon. I feel like he was, like, had a lot more wisdom than Yoda, and I liked how he just let the Force dictate his actions and he wasn't blinded by politics like the other Jedi in the Council were. It's good to have a character like that. And I feel like seeing Obi-Wan as a Padawan was just so cool to see, like, how he became Obi-Wan, or, like, the first step to becoming Obi-Wan, by, you know, getting taught by Qui-Gon Jinn was also really, really nice. Darth Maul is just such a cool villain. You can, like, tell he's, like, so angry. He's a cold villain, which makes him cool in my opinion. And I really like how he always looks, like, menacing, and how he's, like, actively planning everything. And I really liked his double-bladed lightsaber. That was cool to see. And also, come on, how can you not like Duel of the Fates? Duel of the Fates is perfect. Minus the fact that they cut in and out of the scenes a bit. That's the only flaw, but that's not really that big of a deal. The music for Duel of the Fates is perfect. It's epic. The actual dueling itself, they're dueling, like, really fast, and they're really going at each other, which is really, really cool to see. And I also like young Anakin. It's very interesting to see how he goes from, like, this young, loving kid to Darth Vader, which is what the prequels show. and I feel like Jake Lloyd got a lot of hate for no reason. Look, Jake Lloyd, to the people who hated on Jake Lloyd after Phantom Menace was released, you are a bunch of scumbags. You are. He's a 9-year-old kid. Why are you bullying a 9-year-old kid? That just shows how pathetic of a person you are, in my opinion, if you're bullying a 9-year-old kid like the way Jake Lloyd got treated. Look, Anakin is 9 years old in Phantom Menace. Of course he's gonna say stuff like, "This is pod racing." Like, it's just how a 9-year-old talks. And speaking of pod racing, the pod racing scene was epic itself. I just really liked the pod racing scene. The commentators get played as a bit childish, and yes, it is a bit childish. I'll happily admit that. It's still good though. It's still cool. Yeah. My only gripe with the Phantom Menace is that, like, there should have been way more Darth Maul scenes instead of Jar Jar scenes. Jar Jar's the thing that drags the Phantom Menace down. But yeah, there should have been a lot more Darth Maul scenes. And Darth Maul should have had way more dialogue. He only says like 3 words in the actual movie itself. He should have had more dialogue. But yeah, so Phantom Menace at 5. Number 4 is Rogue One. Rogue One is a Disney movie, just like Solo. But what makes Rogue One so good is I love how it shows like the inner workings of the Empire. You really understand how the Empire works, how it runs, how like different planets feel about it. You really see like how hard it is for the rebellion to like overthrow this empire because there's so few of them. I really like the character of Cassian Andor. I feel like he's like that one hero that like went through so much pain and suffering, but he still chooses the good, kind of like Obi-Wan. Jin is also a well-written female character. You see, Jin and Princess Leia were written well to be strong female characters. Jin and Princess Leia is an example of how you make a strong female character. Jin is brilliantly written. She can take care of herself. She's strong. She is just amazing. K2SO was just a really good comic relief character. Like some movies where they have a comic relief character, they overdo it too much or they underdo it too much. K2SO had the perfect balance, just perfect comic relief. And how can you not talk about the Darth Vader hallway scene? I mean, come on, he's just slaughtering all the rebels. It's just amazing. That scene is one of the best scenes in Star Wars, in my opinion. I also like the character of Director Krennic. I liked how he was like, how he like planned all of this. Like he's like an evil mastermind when it comes to planning the whole entire Death Star. Having Tarkin in the movie was also really nice. Like in honor of Peter Cushing, and Tarkin is a cool character. Seeing the Death Star destroy Jeddah, I think that's what the planet was called, Jeddah. I think it was called Jeddah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I think it was called Jeddah. But like I was saying, yeah, seeing the Death Star like destroying a planet, like seeing the people's reactions to the planet destroyed, like the actual people living on the planet seeing their planet getting destroyed, was just so psychologically like, it just really shows like the oppressive regime of the Empire and how evil they are. It's just really, really good. It's so good. It's damn good. Alright, moving on to the top 3, we got The Empire Strikes Back. Now,
I am your father.
No.
The fuck you mean, nah?
this is also a controversial opinion because many people would either have it at 2 or 1. But I have it at 3. Empire is an amazing movie. You know, we have the I'm your father scene, which is just such an epic plot twist. You know, nobody could predict that. I like how you could see how Luke is struggling to learn. He's not like a Mary Sue where he just learned everything, like, instantly. I love how you can see him struggle, how he can't use the Force, he can't save his friends. You see, the romance between Han and Leia is how you write romance. How they eventually hate each other, but they grow to love each other. It's just really good writing. Except the time when Leia called him a nerf herder. That was a bit hard to watch. But yeah, but for the most part, the dialogue is great. The Wampa scene is also really cool. Where like it's like this big Yeti, and yeah, that was really cool to see. I really liked the Battle of Hoth. I just liked how like all the ships are flying around trying to destroy like these big tanks, how the Empire is like winning. And that's like the thing, the Empire wins. The bad guys win in Empire Strikes Back. There's no other way around that. And come on, the Darth Vader Luke duel is cool. Not only because we get the I'm your father, but because the actual dueling itself was pretty cool. How like Darth Vader's like toying with Luke, and trying to see like how strong Luke is. It's really cool. And the Han Solo getting frozen in carbonite scene is just really impactful. How like you can see it in Leia's face, especially like I love you, I know. That's just such good writing. Like I felt like so sad. I felt like defeated when I saw Han Solo getting frozen in carbonite for the first time. It just has that psychological effect, which is really, really good. And yeah, it's just overall, it's just such a good movie. Number 2 is A New Hope.
Get something jammed in here real good.
You know what I do when I feel completely unoriginal?
What's this?
He says it's nothing, sir. Merely a malfunction. Old data.
Who is she? She's beautiful.
Blah, 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 blah. I make a noise or I do something that no one has ever done before, and then I can feel unique again, even if it's only for like a second.
Sounds like she's in trouble. I better play back the whole thing.
Blah, blah, blah.
There you go. Wait a minute, where'd she go? Bring her back. Play back the entire message.
What message?
A New Hope, in my opinion, does not get enough credit that it deserves. It is the first ever Star Wars movie to be released. Now, chronologically, it's the 4th one, but theatrically, it's the first one to ever be released. The binary sunset scene. Oh my goodness! It's just so beautiful with the suns like setting and Luke looking into it, and the music. Luke realizes that he has to leave Tatooine. It's just so good. Luke as a character is really well written. Darth Vader is so menacing. You know, seeing the Death Star destroy Alderaan was also really cool to see. Leia was extremely well written for like that strong female character role. C-3PO was good comic relief, and I like how Obi-Wan Kenobi was very like wise. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi played the wise character like Yoda does in Empire Strikes Back. Obi-Wan just was so wise, and that was really cool to see how like he just tells Luke the basics of the Force. I think the deal between him and Vader gets a lot of hate. It's the first lightsaber duel, and it's more a psychological duel. They're not really going at each other. They're more so trying to like see like who's mentally on top. And the dialogue in A New Hope is really good. Like, if you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can ever imagine. And like, yeah, it's just really good. Han Solo was just such a cool character. Like this cocky, like rogue scoundrel with Chewbacca. Han Solo is just such a good character. To see him, like, the scene when he comes back to help the rebels blow up the Death Star was also really nice. It's like the first step to Han becoming like a more nicer, sympathetic person. And speaking of the Death Star scene, that Death Star scene is cool. When they're all going in, like how Luke shoots the shot through like the little hole, and it goes in and it completely explodes the Death Star. Literally few seconds, 1 second, maybe even less than a second before the Death Star was going to shoot its laser and hit the Rebel base. It was such a pivotal moment, and it was just really cool. And I also like how Darth Vader is like saying like, oh, the Force is strong with this one. Like, this is where he starts to get suspicious that maybe this guy is like, he's a Force user. Obi-Wan has taught him. But yeah, it's like, it's just so good, and it doesn't get enough credit. And plus, without A New Hope, you don't get 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. So, you know, it's gotta be in your top 3 for sure, just for that. And at number 1, and I already explained why I loved it so much, but that video got criticism. And again, I forgot the guy who gave it, but thank you for the criticism, and I'm gonna try and implement my criticism now. Number 1, the best Star Wars movie, without question, is Return of the Jedi. This movie is perfect. you know, the scene where like they're escaping from Jabba's palace is epic. Like the really cool explosion and like how Leia is able to defeat Jabba, how much of a threat Jabba is, how Luke is able to use the Force, how Luke is able to plan it out and defeat all of them, kill Boba Fett. It's just, oh, it's peak. And I really like the Ewoks. The Ewoks are cute. What's fair not to love? And I really love the deal between Vader and Luke, where Vader is like, perhaps if you can't turn to the dark side, maybe she will. And he's referring to Leia, because in this film, Luke and Leia find out that they're brothers and sisters. And Luke is like, never! And charges at Darth Vader, and then they fight down the hallway. And the music, it's perfect. It's so good. It's so good. It's like really, really perfect. Vader v. Luke is my favorite lightsaber duel, by the way. It's just so perfect. It's super duper perfect. And the battle on Endor is also really cool, like how we see the Ewoks fight, you know, Han trying to take care of Leia while also simultaneously fighting off like 10 stormtroopers at once, is also really cool to see. The space battle as well, how like the Rebel fleet is losing, but then after Han puts down the shield, they're able to break through and are able to go through the Death Star and explode it again, which was also a very cool scene. But going back to the Death Star, I really like how menacing Palpatine is through this film. He respects the 1v1 through Vader and Luke. He's like tempting Luke to turn to the dark side, so is Darth Vader. Luke is trying his best, you know, he's not really trying to fight. He's really trying to stay to the light. The scene where he throws away his lightsaber, completely rejecting the dark side, just shows how much of a composed, calm person Luke is compared to his father, Vader, Anakin. Again, it's just like, it's so good. And then like Palpatine gets angry, he starts shooting Force lightning with the idea that like once he kills Luke with the lightning, Vader has to throw Luke's dead body into the reactor shaft where it explodes. But that doesn't happen. You can see Vader is so conflicted. Throughout the whole film, he's conflicted. He's conflicted about killing Luke, turning him to the dark side. He's so conflicted. And so is Luke. Luke is also conflicted. He's seeing the rebellion and gets losing the space battle. You know, Vader is his father. You know, he kind of has to kill Vader, but he doesn't want to. And, you know, he has to resist turning to the dark side. But Emperor Palpatine, who's, like, arguably the most powerful Sith ever. Yeah, it's just, it's so good how, like, you can see the conflict and emotions that both Mark Hamill and like David Prowse in the suit and James Earl Jones, the voice actor for Darth Vader, really show for the way they act. And when Darth Vader kills Palpatine, not only is it like a slight twist because you wouldn't expect Vader to turn good considering all the evil things he's done, but it's just so emotionally impactful seeing a broken, lost, crippled man turn back to good again because of his son. It's perfect. It's beautiful. And then the ending scene. How can you not like the ending scene? The victory celebration song, music, it's so good. It feels victorious. And the final ending scene where it's Obi-Wan's Force Ghost, Yoda's Force Ghost, and Anakin's Force Ghost when he was young, like younger, like how he looked in Episode 3, it's so perfect. It touches into your heart, seeing Anakin come back to the light side after being evil for so long, you know, thinking that he couldn't do it because he was so far into the dark side, only for Luke to redeem him. It's beautiful. It's one of the most heart-touching stories I've ever seen in my whole life. And because it's so heart-touching, you know, you can't hate it. You simply can't hate it. And it's just such a good ending. It really wraps up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 perfectly. It's just such a good conclusion that, like, you know, there was no need for sequels. So therefore, that's why I love Return of the Jedi. That's why it's my favorite movie. It just wraps everything up nicely, and it's just so good to see the emotions and conflicts between all the characters. Yeah, so that's my ranking of the Star Wars movies. You know, 1, Return of the Jedi, 2, A New Hope, 3, Empire Strikes Back, 4, Rogue One, 5, Phantom Menace, 6, Revenge of the Sith, 7, Solo, and 8, Attack of the Clones, and 9, the Clone Wars movie. That's my list. I think this is the correct list. But if you disagree, let me know in the comments, and write down your list in the comments as well. Write down your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the comments down below. Write your own list ranking the Star Wars movies. But anyway, that's enough for this video. I've ranked all the Star Wars movies in my opinion, and next video will be a political one. And anyway, may the Force be with you, and goodbye.